The past couple of vehicles I featured on this channel were compact sports cars. They're usable every day and they're fun around the back roads, and I've even got a motorcycle. But today I've got something a little bit different, and to say that I'm slightly afraid to drive it because of its massive size is a bit of an understatement.
This is a 2010 Ford F150. It's about as long as the Mulsanne Strait, as tall as Shaquille O'Neal, and about as country as Billy Ray Cyrus. This particular F150 comes equipped with a 5.4-liter Triton V8 capable of producing 310 horsepower and 365 pound-feet of torque. It may not sound like much by today's standards, however this is the very truck that pulled my Celica out of a ditch on a cold winter morning about a year ago, so it has enough torque to pull at least the moon out of orbit. And it looks as if it's got biceps ready to tear through the bodywork. Somehow, the F-150 is Ford's best-selling vehicle here in the United States, although I'm not exactly sure why, so I decided that I should try and find out.
I finally stepped inside the cabin of the 2010 Ford F-150 Lariat, and the first thing I'm going to do is go into the center console here and push this button because it activates the heated seats, which can also be cooled. But however, here in Michigan right now it is about 10 degrees outside and I can barely move my fingers. I should note that since I am here in the center console, it does have a nice plastered wood grain finish, and this goes all around all of the doors. And you also have these very big, thick, comfortable leather seats all the way around. And that is a part of the Lariat package. This is actually the 4-door full-sized pickup truck, the Super Crew package. This vehicle does have dual zone climate control. As I stated before, you've got leather comfortable seats all the way around, and it does have the Ford Sync for the speaker system. However, these options on the Lariat actually come stock with the vehicle. In lower trim levels of the F-150, these are actually charged as extra options. Now, I do want to talk about this little knob right here, because it wouldn't be a truck if you had no ability to properly tow when the need arises. You've got your knob here to the right of the steering wheel, and it's labeled 2H, 4H, and 4L to indicate which different modes that your drivetrain is set to. 2H is the standard mode. The vehicle is set up in rear-wheel drive only, and that's basically for everyday driving use. Your weather is clear, you don't have to tow anything behind you. So what you can do with the 4H mode is it's used for loose gravel or loose traction situations on the road.
Whereas 4H puts the vehicle into all-wheel drive mode, 4L puts the vehicle into four-wheel drive mode, locking all four wheels at the same speed. The transmission is also set to the lowest gear ratio possible to provide maximum torque and maximum traction. With the luxuries that are available on this vehicle, it's easy to see why so many people like it. However, I don't care about that, I just want to know how it drives.
Finally behind the wheel, the 2010 F-150. I should notice there's a nice rear view camera up here, which helps a lot considering this is a massive vehicle. Right, so I'm in the car with my friend Kyle. Kyle, say what's up to the viewers.
Yo.
So tell the viewers a little bit about why you decided to buy this vehicle.
Well, I've always had to have some form of vehicle with towing. For the past 15 years I've been cutting grass, running my own company. So I've always had the need for something to pull weight and something with all-wheel drive, because, man, I got stuck once and don't want to do that again.
First thing I notice is how high I am off the ground. I feel like every other car on the road deserve to be run over. Get these peasants out of my way, my V8 Shark. It's actually quite comfortable when you do get driving around.
I honestly was surprised at how this vehicle moves on road. On the tarmac, it does have a relatively smooth, unhindered ride. Granted, I wasn't expecting it to drive like the sports cars that I am used to. It does have a bit of charm with that V8 exhaust note. And it has a hilariously commanding road presence that you won't understand until you've been inevitably tailgated by one down I-94 at about 100 miles an hour.
Even though it's designed to haul stuff around, it does give off the sense that it's like a big highway cruiser. I did not expect such a big and heavy truck to feel this stable.
However, because the F-150 is a truck, we decided that it's not entirely fair to only test it on-road, so we went and found some dirt roads to see how it handled.
Now Kyle, tell me about this four-wheel drive system. If I want to switch to 4H right now, do I need to stop the vehicle?
Nope, for 4H, you just flicker over. The little on-screen display will tell you traction control shift in progress. Right there, you feel it drop in, and now you've got all four wheels spinning.
Alright. Going like about 35 right now. It's quite good, actually. Despite all the cameras shaking about and the vehicle bouncing around all over the place, yes, it does feel a little bit rough, but that's what you expect when you're going on all of these disgusting bumpy roads. These vehicles are designed to take this sort of punishment, and that's something that's going to be important to anyone who wants to buy a big truck like this one. Can it take the punishment? And I'm telling you right now that it definitely can. Alright, switching to 4L.
Slow speeds only in this boy.
The gears are set up so that you can use the maximum amount of torque to tow or anything you need to haul around, and it also gives you that extra bit of traction when the road does get extremely terrible, like this one we're on now. Now, obviously this isn't the only pickup truck that comes from Detroit. You do also have options from Dodge, the Ram, as well as GM in both the form of the Chevy Silverado. You've got the Colorado. Kyle, what do you think makes the F-150 special compared to those vehicles? Why would someone want to buy an F-150 over a Ram or a Chevy?
Two things that I absolutely love this truck for, since it's a 2010. Because back when, you know, trucks were made out of good old steel, nothing but steel, nice, heavy, really plants you on the ground. And then, you know, I'm a tall fellow, 6'1". I like my headspace. This is the only truck I get in that I get it. Dad drives a Denali, hate it. Head scrapes the top. This, we got places to go.
After driving around the F-150 and having Kyle's input, it's easy to see why so many people like the F-150. It's relaxing, luxurious, and comfortable when you're on the tarmac, and when you go off-road, it'll do everything you ask it to without so much as a hiccup. It can carry around 5 full-grown adults, and it has a bed large enough to fit a grizzly bear. However, not everything is perfect. You see, F-150s tend to have a track record for having rust being a bit of an issue, so make sure that the rust isn't bad enough where it's rotting through your frame, because that's the last thing any pickup truck owner wants to have to deal with. Another thing that you will have to keep in mind is that even though you might be able to afford to use the 2010 F-150 5.4 liter Lariat, it does cost, according to the owner, about $95 to fill up a tank of gas, and that's quite a steep price for a vehicle that gets about 10 miles to the gallon. However, the F-150 is one of the most dependable trucks that you can buy, and when maintained and taken care of, they can go for hundreds of thousands of miles, and for that reason alone, I think that's why so many people like to buy them. They can rely on the F-150 to keep on towing away for as long as they need it to.